Once more, good morning, everyone. We want to thank you once more again for joining ManageEngine webinar for 2021 for our resellers. Before we proceed, we want to appreciate all our ManageEngine partners in Nigeria for the good work done. 2020 was actually a year that everybody did not really expect what actually came up, but with the challenges and everything, we were able to scale through and also did well when it comes to our performance in terms of the sales aspect of ManageEngine. We want to appreciate all our partners. We thank you for staying close by us, and also we thank you for reaching out all the time for the opportunity. And we believe that 2021 is going to be a year that we are waiting for to actually get the big deals closed. Before we proceed now on this webinar, I'll just give just a little background on what we're going to talk about today. The articulating ITOM solution, which is we're going to focus on Opmanager. And the reason is because we have requests coming from our partners, the end users, on this solution, and more like one of our flagship solution. And the fact that there's this comparison between Opmanager and Opmanager Plus. So we need to break it down and let you know what Opmanager Plus is and what Opmanager is, and the limitation at which these solutions can actually play in a client environment. So without wasting much of your time, we'll just proceed. And before then, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so like you all know, Tranter IT is the sole distributor of ManageEngine Solution in Nigeria, meaning that we are the forerunner when it comes to the front runner when it comes to ManageEngine Solution in Nigeria. So we an IT servicing company where everybody knows that we have over 250 well-trained engineers. When I mean well-trained engineers in client environments, because we do actually support our clients too on other services. On ManageEngine, we have highly trained engineers on all the solutions. So across the country, 36 states, and SLA is 99%. You don't need to worry about that. We have over 24 blue chip companies that we actually supporting currently in this country, and our commercials base, our customer base is over 75% of commercial banks in Nigeria. So we are actually push this solution in the banks and in other aspects of other startups of this country. So ManageEngine has been in existence for about 18 years, and we actually sold this solution in over 180,000 organizations, and it's a 90+ solution, 90+ product solution with 3,000 admin and over 190 countries. So it's not more like a new solution. It's already a known solution in Nigeria and in other parts of the world. So for us to proceed, I'll make you understand that ManageEngine solution is a popularly demanded solution for all right now, and it's something that you should be pushing right now, because we have advantage when it comes to other comparison with other OEM products when it comes to ManageEngine solution. I will give you a breakdown of why you should go with ManageEngine solution as the webinar proceeds. So, like I said, ManageEngine has over 90 plus solution, but just for us to pick it from where we're going to get to understand it properly, we are going to start with a few the solutions that is more like a flagship solution. And like I said, I'll just give you a brief of what the number of solutions that are here. We have HelpDesk solution, which is one of these solutions we're going to treat in this webinar probably tomorrow, and desktop and mobile device management solution. IT operations solution, active directory solution. So all these solutions are bundle solutions. They are others solution in this solution I just mentioned. We have IT security solution. So we see that ManageEngine solution cut across every unique account of all IT framework. So it's not something that immediately focus on a particular IT framework. Rather, it goes cut across all. So if you want to monitor an incident management solution, you want to IT operations solution, SIEM solution, ManageEngine solution covers all this. So I think just for not to waste most of our time, I want to, so that we can just dive into the main solution. We have a specialist here. Is the one that actually manage when it comes to managing the engine solution, network monitoring solution. Is a champion in his own field, and he has done deployment in very more blue chip company in Nigeria. His name is Sikiru Omiwole. He's our technical pre-sales engineer. So he's going to take us through Opmanager Plus, and feel free to enjoy this webinar. And kindly know that you can actually raise, you can actually put any question you want to ask on the chat box there. Just, but that will come in at the end of the webinar. So we will treat all your questions as the webinar goes, but you can just drop it on the chat box. So I will go through it and we'll treat it. Thank you. So I want to welcome Chief Security to take over this aspect of this webinar. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for attending this webinar. My name is Sikiru Omiwole. I'm a senior technical pre-sales engineer from Tranter IT, and I'm in charge of network solutions and security solutions as well. So let's start with Opmanager. I'll be handling this webinar. So what do we offer when we offer Opmanager Plus? What are the things the client is expecting to get? What are the things we are pushing to the client? What are the value we are proposing to this client? What are the value we are offering the client? So ManageEngine Opmanager Plus sets a new standard for unified IT monitoring, as users get one application for all aspects of network management functions. The single console provides in-depth visibility and control for faster troubleshooting, which enhance IT performance and improve productivity. ManageEngine Opmanager has multiple modules on a single application, thereby providing a holistic view for easy accessibility of each tabs, which reduces the cost of maintenance of different tools as they have the same service pack, backup, and license. ManageEngine Opmanager Plus is packed with advanced management capabilities for monitoring networks, servers, IP address, and switch ports, managing bandwidth and configurations, and analyzing firewall logs before archiving them, which gets rid of the network blind spots and minimizes downtime, so increased service delivery. So ManageEngine has a 90 to 10% ratio, where the 90% is deliverables and functionality, and then 10% is on costing. So you get 90% value and you pay 10% of the costs compared to other OEMs. So Opmanager Plus is a 6-in-1 solution. So it's not just a single solution that does network performance monitoring tool. No, it is a 6-in-1 solution that comes in with NetFlow Analyzer. It comes in with bandwidth analyzer, NetFlow configuration management, firewall log management, and IP address management, and also it comes in with storage management. So that's why we have 6-in-1. So I will talk about each one of them later in this in the webinar. So why Opmanager? So Opmanager is a network performance monitoring solution. Just Opmanager. If you notice, this Opmanager is not the same with the Opmanager Plus. So Opmanager on its own is a network performance monitoring solution. It's a network server and virtualization monitoring tool that help SME, large enterprises, and service provider manage their data center and IT infrastructure efficiently and cost effectively. So with Opmanager, it gets out of the box monitoring of physical and virtualized environment. You get bandwidth monitoring and so on. So with Opmanager, you can optimize your bandwidth allocation. You can ensure there is network availability. You can virtualize your WAN and resolve any link issue, either your WAN issue or your LAN issue. So you can also monitor your traffic trends, plan for future capacity, increase your revenue, your ROI. And you can also spot problematic routers and initiate updates, upgrade, and replacement. So with Opmanager, we have the essential, the enterprise, and the large enterprise. So we have Opmanager that takes 2,000 devices, which is the essential. We have the one that can take the 5,000 devices, which is the enterprise. And then we have the one of 50,000 devices, which is the large enterprises. So this is where Opmanager Plus comes in. This is where we have the 6-in-1 bundle. Opmanager on its own is a single solution, which is the network and server monitoring. But when we are looking at Opmanager Plus, then we are talking about the bundle solution that has 5 other solutions in it. So with Opmanager Plus, you don't only get network and server monitoring, you get bandwidth analysis, you get configuration management, you get firewall log analysis, you get IP address and switch port monitoring, and you also get storage management. So each of these solutions is a standalone on its own, but with Opmanager Plus, everything comes together as one. And then you also have the option to integrate application manager into it, because Opmanager is an enterprise monitoring solution. So it's an enterprise network server and application monitoring solution. So it monitors the whole data center environment, starting from the hardware to the software, to the application running on it, and to the network and the environment as well. So it monitors everything. With Opmanager Plus, you can monitor everything from a single dashboard. So you don't have to be going or using separate solutions. You don't have to be using different solutions, and you don't have to be going from one console to another console. So you can just use one console to monitor your whole environment, your own network environment and IT environment. So these are some of the features of the Opmanager. So you can monitor your Citrix server, you can get syslog and so on. So let's start with server monitoring. So when we say we want to monitor our server, when we say we want to monitor our servers, what does Opmanager offer in terms of server monitoring? So with server monitoring, you can monitor capacity utilization in terms of CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization. You can get your availability monitoring. You can monitor your availability to know whenever the device is up or down. And if it's down, we can automatically send you an alarm or send you an email alert or SMS alert. You can also get the response time of the server to know if there is a network issue, reachability to the server, or the server response is slow and it's not even from network. So, and then apart from monitoring your server, your CPU utilization, your disk utilization, you can also monitor the processes that are consuming the CPU and RAM. You can also monitor your services running on your server. If it's a Windows server, you can monitor services. And then if it's either Windows or Linux, you can monitor processes running on it. So it does not just support Windows, it supports Windows, Linux, AIX, and so on. And so it uses the common protocols. So for Windows, you can use the VMI protocol to monitor it, or SNMP. For Linux and others, you can use SSH, Telnet, or SNMP. So apart from monitoring Windows processes and services, you can also monitor files and folders. So it has file integrity monitoring. You can also monitor Windows events as well. You can also monitor Windows events. And then if there is a new server that is not, the template is not even in Opmanager, you can easily upload the MIB from the OEM, and then you can start monitoring it and get the monitoring metrics that you want. And then for virtualization, Opmanager monitors virtualization environments for VMware, Hyper-V, Xen Server, Nutanix, and so on. So it supports health monitoring and availability monitoring, just like it does for the normal servers. So you can monitor the EXSI hosts. You can monitor the data store. You can monitor the vCenter. You can monitor the VMs in each of them. You can monitor the CPU utilization, RAM utilization, the storage as well. You can monitor the storage. You can monitor the network as well. and then it supports the top virtualization OEMs in the market. The network management. So for switch, for still the same Opmanager, you can monitor your availability of link. You can monitor availability of your network devices. You can monitor availability of your tunnels, your Ethernet ports, your MPLS ports, and so on. So you can also monitor the bandwidth utilization. You can know if when you are using 10 Mbps, you can know when your client is using 2 Mbps, when they are using 10 Mbps. So with Opmanager Plus, you can monitor all that. You can know the exact bandwidth you are using as a pointer, and you can also get in-time traffic reports. Yes, so under interface monitoring, you can monitor the bandwidth utilization, you can monitor the interface availability, you can set thresholds, so you can get an alert when you are using 80% of your bandwidth or 90% of your bandwidth. So this will help you with capacity planning. So you need to know, maybe you need to increase the bandwidth. If it's a location, if your client has multiple locations and the tunnel or the MPLS connection is always using 90% of the bandwidth or 100% of the bandwidth, then you know that at some point the network will be slow and that will be during peak period. So you may need to increase it. So with this Opmanager, you can plan effectively. You know which bandwidth to increase, which bandwidth to reduce, and which bandwidth you don't need to. You don't have to do anything to. And then because it is a network device, it uses the SNMP protocol to monitor the network devices, because most of them support SNMP. So it uses SNMP protocol to monitor the devices. Then we have the bandwidth monitoring. So with bandwidth monitoring, you can get a drill down of bandwidth monitoring. Sorry about that. So with bandwidth monitoring, you can get, this is the net flow analyzer. You can know what is really passing through your bandwidth. You can know what is really consuming your bandwidth. So you can get the top talkers, the top application, the top conversation, top protocols, top hosts, top destination. While this is why this is useful, or why this is very needed, is for organization, like I mentioned earlier, most organizations with different branches, or organizations that want to know what's going through their bandwidth. So if there's an organization with probably a bank or other organization with different branches, and they have MPLS connection or one connection to link each other branches together. So each of these connections used to have a limited cap, which is a bandwidth that is assigned to them from the ISP. And if they're overusing this, if they are maximizing this bandwidth, they need to know what's really consuming the bandwidth. Is it legit traffic, or is it an update, or is this someone that is just downloading from the internet that is taking the whole branch bandwidth? So with this, you can really drill down to know who is using what and what bandwidth someone is using. So you need to know, maybe you need to either restrict the people, restrict your users if they are using the traffic in an unproductive way, or you need to increase the bandwidth if they are using it in a productive way and you still notice that the bandwidth utilization is maxing out, so you may need to increase it. So this will give you justification to either increase your bandwidth or to restrict users, or to know. And you can also get security. You can also get security analysis from here. For example, if a server is just sending or a system is sending malware to other systems in other network, from here you can easily see that the system is sending traffic to multiple endpoints at a particular port or using a particular service. And if you don't recognize that port, or you recognize that service, you can easily have the system admin to check that system out and probably take care of the system, or take out whatever is sending the malicious traffic out to other systems. So similar to that, we have the firewall log monitoring. So, but unlike the NetFlow that uses NetFlow analysis protocol, which is the NetFlow protocol that is supported on most network devices, we have a firewall log firewall log monitoring solution that is focused on firewalls alone. So with the firewall log, you can get the firewall logs. It analyzes the firewall log. You can get the top rules. You can get the stop denied or stop accepted or stop used rules, stop unused rules. You can get stop users to know, and you can also know what users are doing on the internet. So users that are consuming the bandwidth, you can know what the sites they are visiting on the internet. You can get the traffic, and you can also get VPN report and attack report as well. And then it comes in with standard compliance reports. So you can get for PCI DSS, you can get ISO reports, you can get SAN reports. So you know that anytime you are being anytime you are having audit or you are being audited, you know that you have a solution that can give them all the reports they want to get at any point in time. So you can take track of all the changes done on your firewall configuration and get notified by email or SMS. You can manage firewall policy to enhance performance and security. You can search your log and find out security activity in minutes, and so on. So, and it supports the top firewalls in the market. So it supports Sophos, it supports Checkpoint, FortiGate, it supports Barracuda, it supports most of the, it's a multi-vendor solution, so it supports most of the firewalls out there. It also supports Cisco as well, Firepoint and ASR. Then we have the configuration management. With configuration management, you can audit your configuration changes. So if any on your network devices, if any change is made on your network devices, you can easily get an alert that a change has been made on your switch or on your router or on your firewall. And then you can easily roll back to the previous configuration. You can know who made that change, and you can see the exact change the person made with network configuration management. So apart from the fact that it backs up your configuration so that you can easily go back to the previous configuration, it also audits the configuration. So if there is any change made on the devices, it's going to send you an alert that a change was made and show you the name of the person that made the change and the changes that the person made. And then you can also push configuration to multiple devices at the same time. So if you have a new policy or a new rule or a new access list you want to permit, instead of going to each of the devices one after the other, with your configuration management, it can be pushed to all of them at the same time. So you don't have to go from one device to another, or you don't have to go from one device to another. And then it also comes with compliance report as well. So with configuration management, it comes with default compliance report. And you can also create your own compliance rule as well and generate your reports. With IP address management, you can scan your IP subnets, and then you can get which IP address is available, which IP address is used to avoid IP conflict. So when you're assigning your IP address, you can easily know which IP address is in use, which one is in transient. So transient means that the IP address was used in the last 2 weeks. So it's possible that the device is not just reachable, but the IP address is still in use. But after 2 weeks, it will automatically move after 2 weeks and the device is not it's still not reachable, it will automatically change the status of the IP address from transient to free. So we have free, used, and transient. And then for the used one, it's going to show the IP address and the MAC. It's going to show the host name of the system and the MAC address. And then similarly for the switch port as well, it's going to show the switch port that is available and switch port that is used. And the used switch port, it shows the IP address of the devices that are connected to the switch port and the MAC address of the devices that are connected to the switch port. And if it's in a situation where the switch port is connected to an access point, it's going to show us all the devices connected to that access point, because directly or indirectly, they are also connected to the switch, to that particular port. So it shows all the IP addresses as well. So with this, you can easily manage your switch port, you can manage your IP address and avoid IP conflicts. So this is the switch port management. So you can identify the port which a device is connected to from the GUI itself. You can give visibility into IP, MAC, VLAN status, and availability. You can receive notification for changes in port status change. You can know all the MAC address connected to the ports. You can generate reports on port usage and speed, port usage, port speed, and port type. Storage management. So with Opmanager, we can also monitor our storage devices like RAID, tape, and so on. So storage grid management offers deeper insight on capacity, performance, and configuration of RAID controllers. Tape library management monitors tape libraries for different status, parameters to detect fault conditions and generate alarms. Storage capacity forecasting. So Opmanager analyzes the historic as well as current usage trend for storage capacity, and generates reports on future traffic utilization trend. And then fabric switch management automatically discovers fabric switches in your SAN and then SAN environment and generates alarm whenever there is a change in the state of the switches as well. So next we go to fault management. So what happens when there is an issue? Okay, yes, we are monitoring this device, but can we create a threshold for it so that in case we can proactively monitor it. We can know when something is about to happen and prevent it. So that is when we go into proactive monitoring, and then whenever we set a threshold, what happens next? When the threshold is being violated, what happens next? Are we going to get an alert so we can easily check it before it goes beyond that level? So we have a center for alarm and alert notification. So Opmanager creates alarm and events to indicate the faults found by it. View all alarms and events by severity. So there is severity to alarm if it's a critical alarm. For example, I can say disk utilization. So for disk utilization, since my OS disk, which is the C drive, is I cannot allow it to go into 90% or 98% because I know once it reaches 100, it can crash the system itself. So I can set 3 different thresholds for it. I can say when it's in 70, it should be in the critical, the severity should be attention. When it is in 80, when the utilization is in 80, the severity should be trouble. And when it is in critical, the severity should be 90. So I know fully well that once my C drive or my hard disk of my server is 70%, I'm going to get an alert that the device C drive is now 70%. So if I need to look into it, I can look into it directly. Once it gets to 80%, I'm going to get another alert telling me that my hard disk is now in 80% and it is going to be it will be in an amber color. The device L to be in an amber color. Once it reaches 90%, it's going to tell me, okay, this is critical. I need to look into this, and it's going to send me another alert and they change the color from amber to red. So that is just a scenario for disk utilization. We can do similarly with similar thing with memory and CPU utilization, because unlike disk utilization that can crash the system, the memory and CPU will not crash the system. But what it will do is it will affect the performance of these services. So if the CPU or memory is maxing out to like 9800, the service is going to be slow. I don't know what kind of service it is, but it is going to be slow. It's going to affect the performance. The service will stop taking requests. Once this CPU is 100%, it will stop taking new requests. So the service is going to be very slow, and users will start complaining, and then it may even take out the service. The service may stop working for some time. So with proactive monitoring, you can know when your CPU is approaching 80% regularly, and then you need to know maybe it is a new resource allocation you have to do, or you have to check the server and see what is really consuming the CPU. So if you notice that it's okay, you may need to have to add more, allocate more CPU to the device or allocate more RAM to the device. So with proactive monitoring, you can easily get that. So you can get faults, you can get notified by email or SMS. You can also trigger a workflow that can automatically restart a service or some other workflows. You can acknowledge an alarm. So if you get an alarm and you're already working on it, you can easily acknowledge it from the console. And you can also escalate alarm if it's not resolved in time. So these are the actions that can be done with Opmanager. You can get an email alert, you can get an SMS alert, you can get you can run a command on the system, you can log a ticket if it's integrated with service decks or other ITSM solutions. If you can get a web alarm, the one that normally pop up, you can get a syslog profile and you can get a chat profile as well. So this is the multi-threshold I was mentioning about multi-level threshold. So you can set threshold for critical, you can set threshold for trouble, you can set threshold for attention. And you can also set a particular number that once it goes back to 60, it should change back to clear. This is the workflow. So when there's an event, you can create a workflow that will automatically power off a VM, reboot an OS, refresh a database, reset a VM, and so on. And then it also has option to collect traps and log and set it as an alarm. So if a trap is received, you can create it as an alarm and send it to your email. So you can create profile to filter trap and syslog that contains information about your network fault and raise alarm. And you can also forward the traps to another syslog receiver. So it comes in with some other tools, some troubleshooting tools like TraceArt, Ping, SNMP Ping, WMI query, MIB tools, and so on. So you can gather more information, analyze the fault to do your diagnostic. You can carry out actions such as Ping, SNMP, Ping proxy trace, router, and so on. So, and you can also get a group discussion. You can discuss IT issues on Facebook like Collaboration Well. You can share articles, troubleshooting tips, knowledge base, and so on. So visualization, how does it present this data to you? How does Opmanager present this data to you? So from the dashboard, you can set multiple widgets on your dashboard and put any kind of widgets you want on your dashboard. So if you can view the performance of your entire network from a glance, you can find out all the operational status of your network within the 230 plus out-of-the-box widgets. You can create multiple dashboards and embed on your knock screen. So you can pull out top 10 data across your cyber CPU, memory, and availability. And then you can navigate from widgets to snapshot page for detailed analysis. So for example, on this widget, you can see the top CPU utilization, we can see the disk utilization, we can see a snapshot, we can see a live CPU utilization. So you can see all this from a widget from the dashboard. We can create multiple dashboards, and then or we can either use the enterprise dashboard that comes with it by default. And then there's something we call a knock view. So with the knock view, we can put any dashboard we want on the knock view, and then you can put it on any screen. What knock view does is going to be refresh every 30 seconds. So anything we put on the knock view will be refreshing every 30 seconds. So we don't have to log into Opmanager to check any device health. You can easily see it from the screen and see the health. Anytime the health changes, it's going to appear on the screen as well. We also have business view that shows us the device state by color. So it's going to give us a color code of the device in different locations. So we have business view, we have a map as well. So this is a map view that will show us different locations and shows the devices in a place where we have multiple branches and we have devices in those multiple branches. So we can easily create a map for the multiple branches and put the devices in the map. And then we can also generate and create a map for if it's just a single data center, but it's going to show the different devices that are there. That is also another way of creating a map. So there are multiple maps that have been created. There are also 3D maps that we can create for data centers and rack as well. So this is another Google map, and this is layer 2 map that will show us the device connection, showing us how they are connected to each other. This is the 3D map that will show us the rack position and show us the health status. Then we have reports. So Opmanager comes in with built-in reports for different resources. So if it's going to be network reports, if it's going to be server utilization reports, it's going to be one link reports, it's going to be inventory reports, and so on. So it is easy to use. That's an easy to use report builder that offers over 108 performance reports, schedule and email reports. So you can schedule a report and get it sent to you via email every month, every week, or every day. You can create custom reports with data of your choice and export to either Excel or PDF. And you can also schedule the custom report as well. Then you can also print from the GUI. So in terms of report, you can get bandwidth and bandwidth utilization report. You can get resource utilization report in terms of CPU utilization. So you need to know how your CPU is being used over the month. And then you can get this disk utilization to know which server you may need to increase the utilization on. You can get the availability report as well to know which link was up, which link was down, and how the ISP are faring in your network. Other highlights. So there is an enterprise edition that supports a that supports probe architecture. So it has a central server and probe server. So in a case where you have multiple devices over 5,000 or 10,000 devices, so you can use this setup. What this setup does is if there is a particular central server where it will collect all the data and to display, what it does, it displays all the data for you. And then you have probes that will be taking the data. So the probes will be the one managing each of the devices, but all of them will appear on the central server. So if you want to monitor anything, you can see everything from the central server, but the workload will be shared among the probes. It is highly scalable. You can monitor 100,000 interfaces or 10,000 devices. So you can start from 1,000, and if you want to increase it, you can easily increase it to 10,000. And then there's also an option for failover support. So with failover, once the main server goes down, the other server continues to run. So you don't have to worry about availability, or you don't have to worry about high availability because it has a plan for that as well. There's a mobile app for Opmanager that is both on it's both on iOS and Android, so you can monitor your infrastructure wherever you are. Even if you are working from home, you can know when your server is down. You can get alerts in real time. You can see your network performance and see what's going on in it as well. Opmanager integration benefits. So with Opmanager Plus, you don't need to integrate with NetFlow Analyzer or NCM because it comes inbuilt to the NetFlow Analyzer, NCM, and Firewall Log Analysis. But you can also integrate with Application Manager, like I mentioned earlier, and then you can integrate with Service X Plus. So Service X Plus is an ITSM solution, IT service management solution. What it does is going to raise, what Opmanager does is it will raise a ticket in ITSM anytime there is an event or anytime there is an alarm. And once the alarm is cleared, it's going to automatically close the ticket by itself. So it is going to raise the ticket, assign the ticket to the technician, and then once the alarm is cleared, it will go back to Service X Plus and close the ticket. So these are some of the clients that are currently using ManageEngine solution actively. But we have more than this. We have a lot more than this, but these are just some of it. We don't want to we don't want to infuse all of them into one page. And then if you can notice, we have clients from different verticals. We have clients from banking and finance, which is most of our clients are from banking actually, but we also have from other verticals like government, telecommunications, health. We have from oil and gas, aviation, logistics, manufacturing, telecom, insurance. There is no health here, but we also have hospitals that are using our solutions and other health organizations that are using our solution as well. So what happens next? I will let Henry take over from here.
Well said. Thank you very much, Sikiu. In fact, what else can I say? What I would just ask is that I would just say is that, what are you guys waiting for? He has broken it down already. ManageEngine Opmanager Plus is the solution you should put out there, push it out to the end users. You can imagine a 6-in-1 solution to your end users and at an affordable price. So I don't think there's more for me to say in this webinar because Sikiu has actually said all. So I want you to push this solution out and ensure that this we get, because these are the solutions that people demand for, right? And also, please remember to send in your questions, and we're going to tweet all and as we proceed. All right. So why should who are the target in this for us to sell this ManageEngine solution? Like Sikiu said, we have the financial institution, the medical institution, academic institution, and the government institution. So these are most of the verticals that we've sold ManageEngine solutions. And so if you are looking at where to sell, you can sell ManageEngine Opmanager Plus to any of these verticals. You can even go beyond, right? It's what every organization wants to have running in their environment. So it's just for you to push it. So I think you have everything available for you now to push. So, and the key stakeholders, what are the people that you're going to talk to, right? If you want to push the solution, like I can see on the screen, right? We have the CIO there, the CISO, the system ITM admin, the IT compliance manager, the IT auditors, the head of network, service delivery manager, and infrastructure manager. These are the people that you push the solution to, right? If you want to push them, you feel that you can't push the solution to them directly. That is why I'm here as the channel manager. Reach out to me. We'll schedule a meeting with the end users. Then we'll trash it out and ensure that they get the solution. You are not doing your client the best by seeing the solution. You're not pushing it to them, because this is more like what we make their work activity is their work activity. So try and push the solution to these verticals and others. ManageEngine Opmanager Plus can be sold in any verticals. But these are just the key places that we actually sold, and you can actually go beyond this. Okay, so why am I going for ManageEngine solution? Why am I even buying Opmanager Plus? That's what most of your clients will ask you, right? So SQL actually said something about how ManageEngine solutions are user-friendly. Yeah, you get ManageEngine solution is easier for you to implement and configure. So it's not something that is more like a rocket science that you start the open books and just to implement. So ManageEngine solutions are user-friendly. It's more like a workaround solution that you can implement and configure yourself. So it's not something that it takes the whole technical expertise for you to implement. So I want you to look at this, because most of the clients we ask that why am I even going for ManageEngine? Why do I want to buy this solution? So these are more like the reason why you should go for ManageEngine. Push it to your client, give them this reason. Okay, so we have suite of solution products. Like CQ said, on a Opmanager Plus can be integrated with other ManageEngine solution, which is the Service Desk Plus and even Application Manager. We have other ITSM solutions too that are integrated with the ManageEngine solution. So if you get pushing a ManageEngine solution to your client, you are rest assured that you can actually integrate it with other solutions. And even if you don't want to integrate it with other solutions in the environment, ManageEngine has 90 plus solution. 90 plus solution. You know what that means? 90 plus solution that you can integrate. So you don't have any fear if this solution I'm selling to this client, if tomorrow they want another visibility on that solution, that they might request for a solution that can integrate with it. You don't have fear about that, because one, ManageEngine can actually integrate with all the solutions. And like I said, cost effective. Cost effective, we just said it right now, Opmanager Plus. Opmanager Plus 6-in-1 solution, right? Where do you see that? 6-in-1 solution. So we have tried as much to ensure that we could save cost for the CFO, because the CFO will want to look at why am I spending this much for this? Because that's the question he will ask the guys from the technical guys and the CIO that is pushing the solution. But by the time you look at it, you're able to push. You look at the 6-in-1 solution, doing what other solution will be asking you to get other solution to integrate with. So you don't need to integrate this solution with other solutions, right? You're having these 6-in-1 solutions, meeting all different needs of the client. So you shall also customize a ManageEngine solution. So the good thing about ManageEngine solution is that you can customize it to your own environment. So most you check your dashboard. If you don't like the way the dashboard actually is, you can customize it. So the good thing about ManageEngine is that it's customizable. That's very, very is a key. Not in Opmanager alone. In other solutions, in Service Desk Plus, you can customize any of your dashboard the way you want it to display based on your company policy and the way it is. So that's the reason why you should be pushing ManageEngine. There are many other reasons. There are many other reasons. And the reason why you should be looking at it is that, one, again, we've sold it to banking industries. Most of our clients in the banking industry are using Opmanager Plus. So that's the reason. Like I said, again, Opmanager Plus, these are more benefits you enjoy. Why using Opmanager for, as we said, increase profits. Yes, you're going to increase your profitability because, one, you are going to make your technicians effective. They're very effective in terms of knowing what is happening in their network environment at a given period of time. So you don't need someone to tell you that your network is down before you start looking at it. So at the point, as I said, there's a threshold that will be sent. You will know if your network is about to go down. You have to reduce downtime with that. By the time you reduce downtime, you're actually increasing profit. Because when your client cannot have access to your network, then what's it about? So it's important for you to ensure that this solution gets into your client environment so that they can actually increase their network. You want to business continuity, disaster recovery. So if you want to ensure that your businesses actually continue, then you have to go with Opmanager Plus and also boost productivity. As I said, increase your productivity of your IT technicians in your environment. So these are the benefits of ManageEngine Opmanager Plus. So just look at it. If you push this solution to your client, right? Looking at all the benefits that he or she was going to get just getting this solution, I think nobody will want to turn it down, because one, I'm getting 6-in-1 solution that is attending to several other needs, several other needs which are actually different from each other. So if you look at it in that way, if a client is not using Opmanager Plus, that maybe they would have bought different solutions, like 6 or 7, that will be attending to each of their pain points. So this is an opportunity for you to push the solution. Thank you. So, now, the reason we actually put this down so that we can brief our partners on how the engagement process is, right? It's good for you to know about this. You don't just go out there and to the feed and start pushing a solution without actually knowing what you're pushing. So it's important for you to know it, right? That is the reason why we're having this webinar. We want to empower you. There's no point pushing you out there to go and sell without empowering you. So that's the basic of the webinar. We want you to know what Opmanager is, what it can do, what Opmanager Plus can do. And also, and then when you've done that, you then have to push your proposal out to your client. All right, so most of our partners, you might not have a proposal on Opmanager Plus or network monitoring solution. Just reach out to me. Send your request to channel@tranter.com or henry.agmonde@tranter.com. Send your request for a proposal on network monitoring solution. I'm going to share that with you. The one that is done, I believe your client will want to go through the proposal, and they will, if you look at it and see that Opmanager Plus can do all this, then how am I sure? Then tell them, you can actually give them demo. We'll do a demo with them, a presentation demo or a web demo based on how the client wants it. We'll go into the client environment to do a demo. So, and thank God that most of the clients now don't actually go with physical meeting. So we are available online. We'll do a demo on Opmanager Plus or whatever solution that you're going to push to the client. After which you register the opportunity, right? The deregistration portal is very important because, like I said, we want to reduce conflict. We want to manage conflict. Yeah, we cannot do without it, but we need to reduce and manage it. So it's important when you see that. In fact, I will even say that when you see that this is the client is actually going to, because this is a sales process actually, but it's something that you can actually bypass some of these processes. For example, the proposal level and the demo level. If a client has used probably the CIO have used Opmanager Plus in its previous organization, you might not need to ask for a proposal or demo. So I prefer that once you get that request, it is important for you to go to our website, register the opportunity. So when you register this deal, it comes to me, I know that you are the one that is championing this opportunity. It's important for me to know that, because if you don't put me in the loop, I might get requests from other partners thinking that they are the one pushing it. So it's important at the point of at the early stage of engagement with your client, always go to the site, register these opportunities, then I will get it. You don't even need to call me. You don't even need to let me know. I will get it automatically once it is registered on the deregistration portal. So once that is done, I believe by the time we've done the register the deal, we've done demo, commercials. Okay, right. The client will want to know the cost, right? If it's something that they can go by, right? So there are many ways we can actually get this. By the time we are even having the demo with the client, would have known what they want to achieve. You would not even know if it is even that solution or Opmanager Plus they want to, or they want some other solution integrated with the Opmanager that they actually want to go with. So it's important to go with demo for a client that doesn't really have not used Opmanager Plus or Opmanager before. So, and now for you to generate quotes, it's very important to reach out to me, right? Reach out to me and I will share. We have a template, more like a questionnaire template that we use to generate quotes. By the time I share this questionnaire template with it to you, you share it with your client. I tell you, you would have gotten what they want, right? Because there are so many questions that will be asked relating to that same solution. So, and if there's going to be an add-on, you see it on the questionnaire. So once that is done, then if the client feels that, okay, I'm fine with this solution, just with the demo, I'm fine with the solution, then, but if this client still has a little doubt, then we can push a POC in the client environment. It's no big deal. We push POC, we give them 1 month trial license, we push POC on that solution, and the client will see and feel the environment and feel as if they're using it and see they're using it currently. And I believe that by the time the client have seen that, they can actually make decision. So it's not like we are selling something that is it has not trusted. It's something that we have used that is trusted. You can imagine the banking industry having our back when it comes to Opmanager Plus. So you know what it means. So after which the next process will be PO. Once you have done all this, you follow these processes I've just said. The next process will be PO, because the client, even if the client is not getting it, and by the time you've done PO, you've done your PO, you've done POC, and he's satisfied with it, you might not be able to get it that well. Probably it's not in their budget. They can fix it in their next year next year budget. So it's important for you to do that. So deployment will be the next. Once payment is done, we deploy, and after we deploy, like I said, ManageEngine solution are suites of solutions. We have 90 plus solutions, right? Opmanager Plus, you sold Opmanager Plus in that client environment. You can actually increase, you can cross-sell. You can sell. Who say that you cannot sell? You can sell Service Desk Plus. Like Tiki just said in the few minutes ago, that Opmanager Plus can be integrated. It can be integrated with other solutions and also with ManageEngine solution. So you can cross-sell this solution. You can upsell, right, this solution. So it's important for you to look at this. I've sold ManageEngine Opmanager Plus to go and rest. No, you can sell other solutions. The same processes that you went through selling Opmanager Plus, you can use that to sell other suite of solutions. You need me to come into the environment, I'm available anytime. Just reach out to me. You have my numbers, call me. I'll ensure that I get across to you. So we have so many resources that are available. Like I said, we are already, we are not in the business that we are here to sell, and we are making millions, billions every year in this solution, and we want your company to benefit in this. We are not more like how do we put it? We are not stingy when it comes to what we're enjoying. We want to push it out to the partners. So that's why we are pushing it to you now. We are empowering you right now. This is the first quarter of the year. So there's still opportunity for you to push this solution before the end of this year, right? Grow your revenue through ManageEngine. So we have all the resources, everything that you need. You want a video on Opmanager Plus? Fine, we have it. You want to have a demo link? We have that. We have flyer, we have brochure on each of these solutions that we're talking about, ManageEngine and the rest. The data sheet, we have it. So what else do you need? Just reach out to me. You want our resource to come and do a demo with your client? We have it. Like I said, we have our technical guys equipped in all the ManageEngine solutions. So I don't think you have any challenge when it comes to support, right? So these are the things that you're looking at, right? When you're pushing any solution. There are other OEMs to include that you might not have support when it comes to when there's an issue with the client, right? But with ManageEngine, you don't have problem because we have good resource when it comes to that. IT engineers are actually, in fact, we have IT engineers specializes in each of these solutions that can resolve your issue. So at this point, we want to take your questions. So I'll go through the chat and start looking at the questions, and there will be those ones that we cannot answer now. Definitely, we are going to reach out to you and get those questions answered. So let me just go through the questions. Okay. Okay, and CK, can you just help me with the questions on the chat?
Okay, thank you. So we are starting with the questions on the chat. Then we'll go to the Q&A session. So what advantages does ManageEngine have over Splunk? Okay, so if you're talking about Opmanager and Splunk, we can get you a comparison sheet between Opmanager and Splunk. We can share that with you later. So Henry will share that with you. You may share with Henry will share that with you. Then the next.
Okay. For that questions, I definitely I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to type my emails right in this chat so that you can just send a mail to me if you need to send. If you need an urgent request, you can send. For those that don't have an email, as I said, we have some of our prospects and partners in this webinar, and also we have our resellers in this webinar. So I will share my email on the chat so that you can be able to have access to me anytime, any day.
Okay, so another question is, can the port management software provide information on traffic passing each port? So we don't need the port management module to provide information on traffic passing the ports, because we already have a solution in the bundle that is already giving us information of traffic passing the port. So if we want to get the bandwidth utilization, Opmanager itself does bandwidth utilization. We want to get the detailed information and analysis of the traffic passing to that port. We have a net flow analyzer that will give us the bandwidth, detailed information and the analysis of the traffic passing through the port. So what we need the port management to do is to tell us if the port is up or down. Also tell us if the devices that are connected to the switch ports. So since you have client, I'm moving to the next question. Since you have clients already, how do we know who not to go to again? So I'll leave that for Henry.
Good. Yes, that's a very vital question. That is why you have me here, right? Whenever you have requests from a client, definitely, Nigeria is a very good market, right? We have this reseller program that is lined up, not because we don't know what we're doing. We've sold in some of this slide, but we've not actually sell ManageEngine to, in fact, 10% of the companies in Nigeria. So what are we saying? Nigeria is a very good market. We have most of our environment that are not being tapped. That is why we actually want our partners to push these solutions in Far East, North Central, even Southwest, some part of the, apart from Lagos, another part of the Nigeria. This solution has not been actually sold there. That's why we did. That's the most important reason why we have partnership, for us to push this solution where we cannot reach. And we know that with our partner, we can reach places that we as a distributor cannot reach. So that's why we don't have any issue when it comes to that. But when you have an opportunity, reach out to me. I'm going to let you know if is an environment which a reseller or a distributor have been selling such a solution. Thank you.
So the next one is on-premise demo for partners. So what we do right now is, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, people are still practicing social distancing, and organizations have not resumed fully. So for the on-premise demo, most times what we do is online demo, online meeting and online demo. Even the POC we run is online. But if you require an on-premise, if your client requires an on-premise, you may need to reach out to Henry. You can discuss that with him. So if you if we know existing client, we don't need to make in route again. I think Henry has answered that. Hello, this is a network monitoring tool. Can it do configuration management or modification? Yes, like I mentioned earlier, you can do configuration management or modification as well. So with the SCM, you can push configuration to devices as well, and not just one device, but multiple devices at the same time. So you can export configuration to multiple devices at the same time. Also, beyond demo, can we have a POC for clients? Yes, we can have a POC for clients if they insist as well. Pricing structure. Okay, so for this Opmanager, Henry mentioned earlier that he can share the pricing structure with you. So with that, you can easily know how to quote. I mean, you can easily know how to request for quotes.
Okay, just to buttress on what Sikri just said, I actually presume that question has to do with the licensing. How is my Opmanager licensed? I think that's what the reseller wants to get to know. Can you just? I think it's actually licensed based on the number of devices.
Okay, so if it's how it's been licensed, because it's a network monitoring solution that has different modules in it, the licensing also covers all the other modules. So you don't have to buy separate license for separate modules. So for the Opmanager, you have to consider the number of devices you want to monitor. You have to consider the number of interfaces you want to use for the net flow. You have to also consider the number of devices you want to use for the network configuration. And similarly, you have to also consider the number of devices you want to use for your firewall log analyzer, and then number of IP address management, number of IP address you want for your IP address management. And then deployment model. So this deployment model, I don't really get the question, but how it's being deployed, you can deploy it remotely as well. And it is an on-premise solution, so it requires an infrastructure from the end user's point. How do you register a deal? How do you become a reseller? I think Henry will handle those ones. I raise my hand. Can I talk? So sorry. Okay. So Mr. Martin Indigwe, you can type your question. We will address it here. To be clear, POC is for 30 days. Yes. POC can run for 30 days. And then does he have a cloud? Yes, there's a cloud version for Opmanager. It's called Site 247. It's called Site 247. And that question is from Mr. Olufunso Ajibola. So let's go to the question and answer session. So for the question and answer question, can Opmanager manage SD-WAN devices? Yes, it can monitor SD-WAN devices so long as the device can support SNMP protocol. It can monitor the SD-WAN devices. What's the difference between Opmanager and Opmanager Plus? Yes, so Opmanager itself is the network performance monitoring solution, while Opmanager Plus is the 6-in-1 bundle. So with Opmanager, you get only network and performance monitoring. You don't get NetFlow, you don't get SCM, you don't get Firewall Analyzer. But with Opmanager Plus, you get Opmanager, you get the basic Opmanager, and then you get the NetFlow Analyzer, you get the NetFlow, you get the Firewall Log Analyzer, you get the IP address management, you get the network configuration management. When we get a copy of this presentation, Henry can share that with you as well. Where will the network device configuration be backed up for the config management? So it's going to be backed up on the database of the server itself. So the server comes in with a built-in PostgreSQL, where the backup, the configuration are going to be backed up in, and it also supports an MS SQL server as well. So you can either use the inbuilt Postgres or you can use the MS SQL server. So the configuration is going to be backed up in the database of this application. Can I shut down a port from a switch port manager and also configure port security on the switch port from the switch port manager? So what you can do, you can administratively shut down a switch port, but configure security that is not available. What does RAM mean when setting threshold? So when you are setting a threshold, the RAM value is the value that it gets to that is going to change the status back to clear. So if it's already in 70% and it is in trouble or is in critical, and it now drops back to 60%, that means it is now clear. It can now go back to normal state. So real means clear state or normal state. What is heat map? Heat map is going to show you the infrastructure status with color code. So it will show you how many devices are clear, how many devices are in trouble, how many devices are in critical. So you see the heat map, it will show the number of devices, then to show how many of them are in critical, how many of them are in trouble, and so on. Is Google Map a feature out of the box from Opmanager? Yes, you can integrate Opmanager with Google Map as well. If you want to get, if you want to put it in your map, you can also integrate with Google Map to get live location. How can I detect rogue devices on my network using Opmanager? So with Opmanager, you can sorry, excuse me. So with Opmanager, you can detect rogue devices because you have you would have already identified all the devices in the Opmanager. So if a new device connects to your network, the IPAM is going to detect the device as a rogue device. So then can I point back up to a TFTP server? No, it's the backup is saved in the server, but you can export the configuration. So instead of pointing it, you can export configuration. How will the rack view be presented? It's going to show the different racks, and it will show it is a 3D simulation. So it will show you the different racks and show you the health of the devices in each of the racks. So I think we are still getting more questions from the chat. Does it do only network configuration or does it do server configuration? It does only network device configuration. It doesn't work with server configuration. So I think that's all the questions. So I'll leave it for Henry to continue. And if you have any other question, you can easily get back to us via mail.
All right. I would want to say this is, in fact, one of the best webinar I've ever attended. CQ, I in fact, we actually broke down the Opmanager Plus and Opmanager as it is, right? And this is very, 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 very tremendous. I want to commend your effort so far. Thank you very much. Okay, so for those that has questions, other questions that could not that we could not tweet here, you can actually send me a mail. We're actually going to visit all the questions you've just typed on the question bar, and also the chat too. We're going to tweet all, and also we're going to share this link with you. Also, we're going to share the presentation slides for Opmanager with you, right? And we are actually we actually gone past our time. So at this point, since there is no questions, no chat so we would want to call it a day, but not yet. I would want to let you know that we have one of the big, let me put it, how do I put it? One of the flagship solutions that will be coming up tomorrow. You don't have to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss ITSM solution that almost the biggest banking industry in Nigeria is using, right? We have over 90% of our clients using this solution. They are even referring us to that. Service Desk Plus. We want to know how incident is being managed, right? We want to manage your problem, right? Change management, asset management at a single console. You want to do that, then you don't have to miss Service Desk Plus. Tomorrow we are having our webinar tomorrow, same time, and it's going to be Service Desk Plus. You want to grow your revenue. This is an opportunity for you. You don't have to miss it. So I want to you guys to take advantage of that opportunity. This is the first quarter, so you can actually still make sales before the end of the year. So I'm going to share everything that is required for you to push the solution of Opmanager Plus. I will send it to your mail. We have all your emails for those that have registered for this webinar. I just saw a question right now. Difference between Opmanager and the ManageEngine. Okay, I'm going to treat your questions separately. We have all your questions here. So at this point, I want to say thank you for attending the first day one webinar, which is an Opmanager Plus. And we're going to commence the webinar again. We're going to close for a while and commence tomorrow, the same time, 11 a.m., but it will be ITSM solution, which is Service Desk Plus. Everybody wants to sell Service Desk Plus. Every organization wants to buy it. So take advantage. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day ahead. Thank you, all the partners here. Thank you, everyone. I cannot mention all the names here, but we really appreciate your time. Thank you, CKU. Thank you, everyone that took time to come for this, join this webinar. We appreciate you. We want you to take advantage of tomorrow. It's very, very important that you be here. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.